Misty mountains cold.
Is this that Hobbit shit?
Hi. Hi. Welcome to That Hobbit Shit. I'm Mike.
I'm Corey.
Hey, Corey, what are we talking about?
Hey, Mike. Well, today's episode is about a wizard in a tower. So the title of this episode is He's So High,
Oh my God.
High Above Me. Did that force you to open your beer?
It did.
Yeah. Oh, do we go to the well, I've lost track of what we do. Do we go to the dragon first or we do summary first?
We could if you want.
Oh, nah, let's do the summary. I'll be okay. Yeah. You enjoy your beer.
I was walking in the door and you pulled me out by my coattails.
Not you again. If only that hadn't happened to us so many times in real life. Anyway, when we last left our heroes. Oh yeah, actually, so this is episode 10. We should say this is actually episode 10 because we kept calling the last episode episode 10.
In my notes, I've titled it The Real Episode 10.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, the real episode 10. Oh, we're so good at this. But anyway, when we last left our heroes, they were feasting. They were full to bursting, drunk as skunks, and high as shit. When suddenly Legolas, drunkest of all, decided to go for a walk. The others followed. Legolas saw Gandalf, Treebeard, and Theoden and said, "Oh shit, those characters are driving the narrative forward. Let's go get in on that." So they went over to those guys. Treebeard and I decided we better go talk to that fuck Saruman, Gandalf said. We've come to the conclusion that Saruman is an okay guy, based on the quality of his stash, that is, said Merry. Gandalf was unimpressed, his usual state. Try and be quiet while the adults are talking, was Gandalf's response. Gimli was pumped. He had a theory that Gandalf and Saruman were the same person, a theory he dearly wanted to prove. Gandalf's patience was growing thin. Everyone, including Theoden, Éomer, and the Rohirrim, went to the foot of the tower. The Ents hid out of sight. The tower was fucked. It was built by the blood of Numenor, Mike. Anyhow, Gandalf, Aragorn, son of Arathorn, greatest huntsman of the age, Gimli, Legolas, Theoden, and Éomer climbed the steps and rang the doorbell. A fairly impressive party. The hobbits, naturally, were ignored. No one answered the door, but a little ways up the tower, a rat-faced man appeared. It was Wormtongue, our dear friend. Fuck you, Wormtongue, both Gandalf and Theoden shouted at the same time. Go get your master. Wormtongue went back inside. There was screaming and yelling and smashing of plates coming from inside, but when Saruman came out to an even higher balcony, he was quite composed. Perhaps magically composed? His voice was so sweet. Like, awesome. Like, sick and so dope. He sounded like a cool guy, much as Merry had predicted. Nearly everyone was enchanted, probably especially those fat, stupid hobbits. Anyhow, what do you want? Saruman asked. You've already trashed my front yard and destroyed my murder army. It sounded quite reasonable. Also, what he was wearing was awesome. Totally the same person as Gandalf, thought Gimli. Saruman made a magical speech about how they were all dicks and that they should repent their dickishness and join him. Theoden was a bit tongue-tied, and the riders certainly agreed with Saruman. Gandalf said nothing, but was most likely still unimpressed. Gimli was the first to speak, and he said Saruman was the real dick here. Saruman tried to enchant Theoden further. Éomer did his best to break the spell because he was such a cool guy and also unimpressed. Saruman was not having it. His cool voice was a bit harsher now. But basically, he told Éomer to shut up while the adults are talking. When Saruman finally stopped talking, Theoden told him off in the worst way. He called him worse things than even Tom Noddy or Addercop. It was quite shocking. Everyone was a bit shocked that Theoden's voice didn't sound as nice as Saruman's, but they all agreed with the telling off. You fucking hick, Saruman said in his beautiful voice. And spells really started to fly now. Word spells, Mike. It was speechcraft. Saruman dragged Gandalf into it, and that was probably a mistake. Unimpressedly, Gandalf responded that Saruman had been a dick for quite some time, and really nothing has changed. Shit quickly turned into a wizard battle. No one but the two identical old bearded men could speak or understand this crazy wizard shit. All were dismayed, Mike. All. Gandalf didn't give a fuck, though. He had the upper hand in this wizard battle, despite the fact that Saruman literally had the high ground. Saruman was clearly losing and becoming more shrill by the minute. He even tried to insult the Ents, if you can believe it. Gandalf was pretty calm, smug even, the ultimate word spell. Gandalf started making demands, and Saruman got even angrier, clearly losing. He tried to leave. Gandalf made a command, and Saruman obeyed. Oh, shit. Then the real telling off began. The insults of wizards are formidable indeed. It was like the dopest rap battle you've ever heard, if you can picture that. And when Gandalf finally dropped the mic, Saruman's staff shattered, and he fled back inside, utterly defeated. Suddenly, a real cool something fell from a higher window. Wormtongue had thrown it. Most likely he threw it at Saruman, but it rolled away and Pippin picked it up, probably foreshadowing something. Mission completed. Everyone leveled up at the defeat of Saruman. Everyone was patting Gandalf on the back, but uncharacteristically, he was pretty humble. A scream from above revealed that Saruman was pretty mad about that cool something being thrown from the tower. The Ents reappeared. Everyone was awed by their rareness and coolness. Oh shit, an elf? Finally someone on my level, Treebeard said. He was pretty pumped to talk to someone who was old and knew shit. Legolas was still a bit drunk and made some elaborate toasts to his buddy Gimli. Treebeard was shocked that an elf would be friends with a guy with an axe. It got tense for a sec, but Legolas explained that Gimli's axe is only for murder. Orc murder. And Treebeard was again pumped. All the party was ready to turn back towards Edoras. It was the duty of the Ents to stay behind and guard the utter ruin that was once Isengard. Treebeard was pretty sorry to see Merry and Pippin leave and reminded them to keep an eye out for the Entwives. He winked. Gandalf and Treebeard made fun of Saruman for a bit, and that was it. They parted.
The end?
Yeah, the end. That's your chapter.
If I say anything, I'll get into my notes.
Do you want to go to the dragon first?
Yeah, let's get there.
But the only food for the brave and true comes from that green dragon.
I might as well introduce the Green Dragon Inn, the segment where we discuss the beers for today's episode. Beers or drinks or whatever you happen to have there, Mike. What have you got?
Oh well, Corey. I took a little stroll at lunch last week and found a perfect beer.
Ooh, perfect beer.
Perfect beer. It's called Smooth Operator from Swift Brewing.
Nice.
It's a Citra hazy pale ale. I think it's Citra hops. It's Smooth Operator as Saruman is. You
Yes, of course.
That smooth voice of his.
That cool voice.
Yeah. It's pretty good. Very citrusy. Very cool label, actually. Swift Brewing, I forgot all about them. They're a local brew pub. And their brew pub is designed aesthetically to be like someone's basement in the 80s.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. Like the can here is green and orange and turquoise and brown.
That's funny. That's exactly what I pictured.
Then the brew pub has like posters from the 80s and like all these little knickknacks and stuff.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, I really want to go there. I forgot about it. I meant to go when it first opened, and it just, you know how my brain functions these days.
Yeah, that's fair. Is it pretty recent?
I want to say a couple of years ago, but I cannot remember.
Yeah, I guess that sort of goes in with what you just said.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's quite good. It reminded me of the brew pub, and now I want to go there.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Have you had I don't know, maybe you don't remember because we've had about 100 beers, but have you had something from Swift before? I'm trying to think if I remember the name.
I didn't realize they actually had beer you could buy in the store.
Oh, cool.
And it might be a new thing. They might have just released actual like in-store cans, or it might have been I was in a store that carried them.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah.
I think it's hard to get shelf space if you're a newer brewery.
Oh, huh. I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, that's interesting.
I went on a tour once, and someone told me if you're a newer brewery or you're like, I don't know, not greasing palms, you get put on the very bottom shelf.
Oh, that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I suppose if you're a beer connoisseur, though, you might check the bottom shelves and be like, "What's new?"
It made me think that I should be looking at the bottom shelf. So a little pro tip.
I wonder if that's the case at the LCB Ontario. Terrible.
I don't know how those people operate. They're just barely clinging to life now, aren't they?
Well, speaking of grease and palms, I have no idea.
Sorry, this is not a political discussion.
That's okay. No, I don't think anyone from Ontario listens. Anyway, That sounds great.
Doug Ford is writing us the most angry email right now.
If that fuck is sitting listening to our podcast,
you know what? He could turn it off. I don't mind losing that one person.
Actually, you know, I think I would be mildly impressed if he did listen, but
I would be shocked. So, what are you getting into, Corey?
Oh, well, Mike, I'm glad you asked. My beer is from Nickelbrook Brewing. It is apparently part of Nickelbrook's small batch beers. It's called Winter Wizard.
Oh,
it's got a dirty old wizard on the front. And you could take it two ways. You could say it's called Winter Wizard because Gandalf was cold as ice to Saruman.
Yeah.
Or because it is the winter of Saruman's discontent.
Yes.
I just came up with that on the spot. I hadn't planned it. That's all.
I like the second one.
Well, according to the can, it is a magical India Pale Ale. And the tasting notes are magical, juicy, and winter spirit. I appreciate clever can design, but sometimes I'm just like, fuck off.
Oh yeah. I wonder how often they just throw it into AI. Like, describe a Citra hazy pale ale in 10 words.
Have you started to notice that like that is becoming more and more common in like anything you listen to? Anytime something is like overly described, you're like, yeah, that's for sure been written by AI.
You know what really grinds my gears? When you're stuck in a video game and you Google what's going on.
Yeah.
And like the top 10 results are just AI generated.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Like it generates it on the spot?
No, but it's like people, they're so similar, the pages you find, that they must have been generated from the same data set.
Oh, that's so weird. Oh, okay,
It's really frustrating because like I think there's probably common areas where people get stuck, especially filthy casuals like myself. And people probably just understand like, yeah, everyone gets stuck here, let's generate an article for that.
Damn. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Wow. What a brave new world, eh?
Yeah. Anyway, so before the drunken rambling continues, should we get out of the Green Dragon?
Yeah, let's get back to work. On to notes.
Before we leave, I'm still drinking out of my Green Dragon mug, by the way.
Oh, you bastard. I don't know if that's come up on the show yet, has it?
No, I have a Green Dragon mug from New Zealand. My boss got it for me when he went on the tour. A
fucking official one.
Yeah. All the beer tastes better.
As it should, and as I think I probably would have imagined. It was seasoned for centuries by hobbits. Hobbits probably don't even wash their beer mugs.
Oh, definitely. It's like those people, everyone knows a person who doesn't wash their coffee mug because of the flavor it develops. Do you know these people?
Is that a thing?
That's a thing, yeah.
Blech.
It's repulsive, yeah. But people will be like, no, I don't wash my coffee mug.
So much for like single origins and like tasting notes.
Oh, yeah. Well, what about like I guess you would only do it with black coffee, I hope.
I would hope so. Yeah. Let's not get into the milk and sugar discussion.
Anyway, to avoid that, let's move on to notes.
We're not so drunk yet that we aren't practical. Yes. Do you want to start us off, Mike?
I have the perfect start here, Corey.
Okay.
Did you notice that Saruman gave everyone a good morning?
Oh wow. You know what? No, it didn't really fully register with me, but that might be the ultimate good morning in the series so far.
Yeah, that fucker. There's a lot you can read into that, and it was for sure on purpose.
His whole he gives a pretty spectacular bunch of speeches up there. Like he's trying his absolute hardest.
Yeah. Like a trapped rat.
Yeah. That sort of connects to this note, because according to the narrative, Saruman successfully bewitched several of the riders of Rohan to the point that they heard his voice in their minds forever.
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of curious, like, what's up with that?
It's like an earworm.
But like, were those guys just like fucked for the rest of their lives, just constantly thinking like, "Oh my god, I wish we had stayed with Saruman."
Well, maybe they desert their army and follow him somewhere.
Oh, maybe, yeah, yeah. Maybe at the mustering, they fuck off back to Isengard.
Who knows where they might end up?
Yeah, that's true. They're just NPCs.
Well, or do they? Never mind.
Why? What was that a spoiler?
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen to Saruman. He might travel somewhere and do something.
Oh yeah, right. Sorry, I forgot about that. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, maybe that's where he gets his goon. Never mind.
His goon squad.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. I hadn't thought of that.
I don't know. I'm just spitballing here.
No, I think that's a good spitball. You hit the teacher with that one, bro. Um, yeah. Other notes, Mike?
Let me see here. I want to get them in order because I kind of jumped around. Another insult he throws is dotard.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Dotard. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Do you have a dictionary definition of that one?
An old senile person who has become physically weak.
I don't know why, but reading the description makes it that much funnier that he yelled at somebody.
Yeah.
It's, I think I might be right up there with truant.
We're collecting all these like 1900s insults as we go through.
You never know when you're going to be going through life and someone's going to like force you into an insult off, a gentleman's insult fight.
Yeah.
There's a couple different ways I thought you could go with like the summary for this chapter, and one of them was, as I briefly mentioned, a rap battle. But I was like, no, I don't think I have enough material to carry that out for the whole thing.
I seem to remember, wasn't there like a College Humor video about like a turn of the century rap battle?
Oh my god, probably.
I have this vague memory of something like that.
Man, remember the early days of the internet when College Humor was at its height?
Yeah. Whoever owns that site is probably wondering where it all went so wrong.
Yeah, probably. Sometimes I wonder that actually.
Yeah, separately. I've got some more notes. Do you have any?
I actually only have two more. I don't have many.
Okay.
But here's one for you. How fucked was Gondor that they could build Orthanc?
Oh yeah.
Like it's the Ents couldn't even chip it.
Couldn't touch it.
Yeah. And then even like crazier than that is when the Palantir fell down, it like smashed the steps.
Yeah.
Didn't they build the Palantirs too?
Depends whose lore you follow, Corey.
You're getting into the Rings of Power, aren't you?
No. I believe they did though. Yeah, it's well, hopefully we see it in the Rings of Power.
Oh, I'm so bummed out already.
They could build aqueducts. We know that.
Oh my fucking god, I have so much to say.
It's so hard not to dip in.
Yeah. Okay, hang on. I've got, let me see here. Origin and early history were probably made. Oh, huh. Excuse me. According to TolkienGateway.net, which is my personal favorite source of Tolkien information. Excuse me, I should stop burping while I say this. They were probably made by Fëanor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, shit, yeah. That's cool.
That makes a lot of sense. The greatest craftsman to ever craft.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. All right, I can deal with that. So yeah, the only thing mightier than Gondor building Orthanc was fucking Fëanor, who built the greatest things that have ever existed.
With his filthy elf magic.
I apologize, I didn't research that beforehand, but yeah.
I forgot. The Fool of a Took thing just keeps going, hey?
Where did that come up?
Didn't a Took grab the Palantir?
Oh yeah. Oh right. Sorry. Yep. Totally.
Just constant boners from him.
You really boned this one, didn't you, Pippin?
He's just he's Gandalf's foil, and I love it.
He doesn't get much airtime in this chapter.
No.
Yeah. But they're fat, stupid hobbits. So
I have three more things.
okay, I just have one more. So if you want, I'll get that, and then we can.
Okay.
I think, Mike, that Gandalf coined a new phrase totally on the fly in this chapter.
Oh yeah.
I hope you could use this in your day-to-day life. The guest who has escaped from the roof will think twice before he comes back in by the door.
what does that even mean?
Well, I think this is the only instance where this particular metaphor will ever be appropriate. If you've been rescued by an eagle from a tower and then you have to come back to the tower.
It doesn't. He could have said the back door.
He could have said anything, really.
Yeah. I skated right past that one.
Yeah, that's it for me for now.
I guess I was under his spell. Okay, I got a couple. The Gimli and Legolas friendship, and how the ant just can't, Treebeard just can't wrap his head around it. It cracked me up. He's like, what? And how Gimli's axe just slips out of its what do you call it, holster? I don't know, his belt.
Yeah. Oh, just the worst timing on that.
As he bows.
Yeah. Well, they've been drinking all morning. Like they're day drunk. In the last chapter, Legolas was like, "Do you guys have any more of that wine?"
Oh yeah. Kudos to Legolas for not throwing his friend under the bus when he meets like this fantastical creature that he is obsessed with.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh, you're right. He could have easily been like, you know what, fuck this guy carrying an axe. I don't know him.
Yeah. You know that guy Elrond. He put us together.
I didn't even want to travel with this guy.
But you know my bow. And speaking of the Ents, those lazy Ents.
Yes.
Just how we know that they get pretty lazy with their constant vigil over Isengard.
Yeah, yeah, that made me a little sad when I was reading this. He's like, "Oh, don't worry, the Ents won't fail," and I was like, "Oh, fuck, the Ents definitely fail."
Yeah, we know they fail almost immediately
At the one thing they were supposed to fail at.
Who knows if they even repeatedly flood the place?
Yes, that does remain to be seen. They probably just wandered back to the forest, or got distracted and turned back into trees. I don't know.
Okay, so my last note is either this is the first time we've seen Gandalf, or one of the first times we've seen Gandalf actually do something with his magic.
Yes.
Or these two are stuck in a game of bluff where neither can back down.
Neither one is actually a wizard. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a very, very valid question. Because I mean, like when he's like, Saruman, come back, and then like he looks like he's being physically dragged back. Was that a spell, or
did he put him in the corner and he's just like, fuck, I can't reveal it.
If I don't come back, then they're gonna know that we're both fakers.
Who's to say?
I don't know. It is a cool instance of Gandalf actually doing something.
His reveal of being like the leader of their order now.
Yeah. And I mean, really, like of all the things that, like, I don't know, they could have thrown fireballs at each other. Sorry, level 2 fireballs at each other.
Well, Gandalf would have level 3 now.
Right. Yeah, of course. But like just the fact that they were, I don't know, it's cool, like Saruman's speechcraft and how it was like working on everyone. And Gandalf was just sort of waiting.
Yeah.
And then just tore him down.
Also, how he didn't reveal that he had come back through fire and flame until that point.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess Saruman wouldn't really have known that. Oh, interesting. Yeah. It's pretty sweet. Yeah. Excuse me. It reminds me of The Voice, Mike, because I've been reading June.
Oh boy, oh boy. I haven't gotten into it yet.
Oh, you haven't finished the first one yet?
I haven't even started it. I read the Jim Henson biography and it was like 700 pages.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been reading short stories since then, just to like as like a digestif.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, that's totally fair.
I'll get into Dune soon.
I have started now the 6th novel,
Oh,
the
wow,
final one
you are-
written by Frank Herbert.
You are flying. Maybe next I'll read Dune because I came out of the second movie. Have you seen it, by the way?
No, I haven't seen the second one yet.
Oh. I don't know. I don't know when you'll find time. It's so good.
I definitely enjoyed the first one. I thought it was pretty cool. I dare I say this on a Tolkien podcast, but like, fuck, man, Dune is so good.
Well, we're gonna run out of material in a few years.
Yeah, exactly. By like 2035, we might have to switch to a different author of different series.
Might as well carry this into our 70s.
We'll be one of the original podcasters by then.
should we cast it into the fire?
Yes, let us.
Okay.
Cast it into the fire!
Fan casted in the fire, the segment where we cast a character who's appeared in this chapter as if we were casting a new movie.
As if we were casting a new movie, Mike.
As
We
if.
are.
So, Corey, what do we do this episode?
Well, Saruman's voice is a big part of this chapter, and obviously we see Saruman perhaps for the first time. So, Mike, you opted to cast the voice of Saruman, and I opted to cast the beautiful vessel in which that voice exists.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first?
You go first.
Okay. I actually do have notes about this. I almost forgot. I almost skipped them. So yes, I was set with the task of casting the face of Saruman, the body, if you will. So let me hit you with why I picked this, Mike. There seems to be some controversy among the protagonists whether or not Gandalf and Saruman look alike, right?
Uh-oh.
And Gandalf is, of course, played by Kurt Russell.
Uh-oh.
Maybe I should just say as a side note, it would be hilarious if we picked the same person. But we'll see. We can just cast him twice, like in the credits. Anyway, I recently found out in real life, that is unrelated to that Hobbit shit, that many people cannot tell the fucking difference between Kurt Russell and Jeff Bridges.
Oh, awesome.
and really, it's a crime that we haven't cast Jeff Bridges yet. So the body of Saruman will have to be the one and only Jeff Bridges.
Amazing. Perfect casting.
Also, I can send you side-by-side comparisons where they do look. This is an argument that I had. I was like, there's no fucking chance they look alike. And then you do a quick Google search and you're like, oh.
Wow. And Jeff Bridges has an iconic voice.
He does have an iconic voice, Mike.
But, you know, he's not a voice actor.
Okay.
And his voice isn't as iconic as one of the most iconic actors ever, Mark Hamill.
That's a good choice, Mike.
Thank you. That's all I get.
Well, I didn't I cast Mark Hamill as Theoden?
You might have,
a
but
couple episodes ago.
Corey, in the Tolkien, or sorry, in the Peter Jackson movies, the actor John Rhys Davies.
Oh yeah,
he plays the voice of Treebeard.
Oh, is he really? Oh
Yeah.
shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
There's precedent.
My only hesitation was based on that, and I apologize. And Mark Hamill is a fantastic voice actor. Imagine he did his Joker voice.
He could slip into a little bit like that. His voice acting is incredible.
He is a really cool guy. Like, yeah. That is a really good choice, especially coming out of the mouth of Jeff Bridges with and also like when you get right down to it, Saruman's okay, so hang on a sec. Bear with me here. in the Peter Jackson movies, when Gandalf reveals himself to Gimli, Legolas, and Aragorn when he comes back as Gandalf the White, his voice starts out as Christopher Lee, and it's sort of like overlapped with what's his face, other guy,
Ian McClellan.
Thank you. And so you're like, oh shit, is it Saruman? Is it Gandalf? But then when they're in Isengard, I think a lot of the stuff with Saruman ended up getting cut. And I think it's a lot of the like extra footage on the Two Towers.
Yeah.
Which is really good. Like it's pretty sweet as far as the extra footage goes, but there isn't much playing around with Saruman's voice, which there like kind of really, really could be and probably should be.
Yeah, especially like I don't know. Like, yeah, you're right, completely.
Like, yeah, like in the narrative, like it's so like he's so calm and his voice is so like lovely, and everyone else sounds shitty by comparison. But then like as he gets angry, he sort of comes out of his spell a little bit, and it's like it's really important in the narrative. It's like the whole narrative of the chapter.
Yeah, they don't touch on it at all. They also have him on the top of the tower somehow conversing.
Yeah. Which is pretty wild, and I think you've made a very good choice in casting Mark Hamill as that, because he can definitely do that.
Yeah,
he's so cool.
Yeah. I didn't know he voiced the Joker in Batman until I was an adult. I had no idea.
Oh yeah, I don't think I found that out until I was an adult. I even as a kid, I don't know if I ever really would have made the connection of who he was. I probably would have only known him as Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known his name at that point, but
yeah.
Yeah, I guess it would have only taken knowing his name and watching past the end of the episode.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, if you don't have time for that when you're a kid.
No. You have to do a bathroom break before the Animaniacs comes on.
Hey man, that show is nonstop. There's no getting up in the middle of Animaniacs. That's sweet. I think we have a pretty fucking rad Saruman.
Yeah, I admittedly completely forgot that you had cast Mark Hamill. And I was watching The Boy and the Heron.
Is he in that? Is he one of the English voices in that?
Yeah.
Oh fuck. I think he's probably in a lot of them, but he's definitely in Nausicaa.
Yeah.
Which I watched kind of recently, and I was like, I think I was kind of like, damn, he's so good.
Yeah, he's great in everything.
What's in this? Nothing. Just a bit of seasoning. I thought maybe if we was having a roast chicken one night or something.
Cooking, you gotta say it like that. Cooking with Sam. The segment where we discuss the recipe we cooked for this episode. Corey, what did you have us cooking?
Oh, what did I have us cooking? Mike, you picked this one.
What did I have us cooking?
You had us cooking Bjorn's honey bread. Honey cake? Honey bread.
Cake. Honey break. Yeah, it was a cake.
Well, I closed the link with the recipe in it, and oh my god, if you search Bjorn's honey cake, there's an awful lot of anyway, yes.
Wow,
Mike.
I wish I had looked for a different one. Anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, let me start you off then. For starters, Mikey, I doubled the recipe immediately. I saw that there was only 1 cup of flour and thought, fuck that.
Oh, okay.
So mine turned out, I think, a little better than yours.
Yeah, I did not, because I kind of want these things to fail. So it's so small.
Yeah.
And like in a bread pan too. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, yeah, like a cup of flour, like nothing else makes this thing up. Like it's...
So aside from, well, maybe there'll be a flavor change difference. I didn't make the clotted cream because I didn't want to.
Mike, is it because clotted cream is one of the least appetizing food names that I can think of?
Yeah, I didn't even like consider it for a second. I just skipped right over it and thought, well, honey cinnamon butter sounds pretty good.
Yeah. I made both. There I don't like the clotted cream on its own, but actually if it's on it with the cinnamon butter, it's pretty good. But the clotted cream on its own is kind of weird.
It sounds weird.
Yeah.
I know it's not actually clotted cream, but
well, yeah, and I guess mine is vegan, but it was like with vegan cream cheese and whipping cream. And I think just like the tartness, the sourness of the cream cheese is like that's kind of what makes it weird.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, but
did you sample the cake itself without all of these toppings?
yeah, and I was actually pretty surprised that it wasn't overly sweet, considering that it's like mostly butter and honey.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because mine's so small, but it doesn't really have a flavor. Like I don't think I'd make it again because it's just there.
Yeah, well, it's a bit like pound cake, I thought.
Yeah, a lot
which
like
doesn't
pound
really
cake.
taste like much.
Yeah, it just doesn't really have mine at least didn't have a flavor. Maybe I should have used some better honey to give it like a better flavor.
Oh, Mike, speaking of which, I need to give a shout out to Bumble Rock honey, which I used, which was fantastic.
Oh yeah, I just have a tub of honey.
Oh,
Like a no-name brand tub of honey.
oh, fair enough. Yeah. So okay. Well, there you go. There's a difference right there. I used some pretty sweet local honey.
Yeah, mine is not local, and those bees have been living horrible lives.
All the bees that made your honey are dead.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Oh wait, are we still talking about this loaf? I'm sorry.
Cooking with Sam. So
Yeah.
you wouldn't make it again?
I don't think I'd make it again. There's no flavor. It wasn't bad. It's kind of like the Rings of Power.
Sorry.
It's not upsetting or anything. It didn't taste bad. It just like there was nothing particularly appealing about it.
Yeah, that's fair. I would say for my part that I'm generally skeptical of loaves like this because they can honestly be very hit or miss.
Yeah.
But I found even with doubling the recipe that this rose very well and it kept its shape and it did have actually a pretty nice texture to it. It was a very successful loaf, I will say. But I agree with you on the fact that it was pretty plain. It kind of like required the two toppings or one of the two toppings.
Yeah, the cinnamon honey butter is doing heavy lifting on mine.
Oh yeah, I mean, and let's face it, you can't go wrong with cinnamon honey butter.
No.
There's
Actually,
nothing to hate about that.
Actually, that's one of my notes. The cinnamon butter recipe, I would double the cinnamon.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
I went for it was half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon, and I did a generous teaspoon, and it wasn't enough for me. But I'm a cinnamon pervert for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh no, that's fair. I'll also put myself in that category. I feel like I used a tablespoon, but I can't remember now. Maybe I just ignored the fact that it's a teaspoon.
Yeah,
Usually,
if you used a tablespoon, I would have agreed with that.
well, usually like cinnamon's one of those things. You know how everybody sort of has like an ingredient that anytime it's in a recipe, you're like, fuck that, and you double it, like maybe like garlic or whatever.
Yeah.
Cinnamon is definitely on that list for me.
Okay, yeah, I usually do that too, but I don't know. I wanted to fall. I already knew this recipe was going to fail when I put it in the loaf pan and saw it was taking up like an inch.
Yeah, that's fair. I do love the fact that like with every single recipe, it seems that one of us follows it and one of us doesn't.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it
one of
works
us
out
is
very
like,
well.
Fuck this.
Cool. So that's cooking with Sam. We will post that on the old socials if you guys want to make a recipe that we may or may not recommend.
I'd love a recommendation from listeners.
Yeah. Oh, please, by all means. Yeah, we'd be more than happy to make a recipe that someone sends in to us. Otherwise, we're just lost amongst the thousands of Lord of the Rings recipes on the internet.
Okay. Now we're on to news. I'm excited to get here, Corey.
Oh yes, excellent. Hobbit news is lit as fuck this week.
Do you want to intro it?
Riders of Rohan! What news from the mark?
Sure. Hobbit news is lit as fuck this week. Welcome to Hobbit news, the segment where we talk about what's going on in the greater wide world of Lord of the Rings fandom.
I'll take the good one, Corey.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, I've got a little sidecar too.
Okay.
So first one is the Lord of the Rings: The War of the Rohirrim trailer released.
Yes.
And it looks amazing.
It does look really cool, yeah. If I have one complaint, it's that they as we discussed, I think by text, that they gave away the whole like why he's called Helm Hammerhand in the trailer. Which if you've been listening to the Mathom House, you would fucking know by now.
I actually turned the trailer off halfway through because I was already sold on the movie.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Yeah, they don't really need a trailer for folks like us. We're gonna watch it regardless.
Yeah. Well, I want to know if I'm hate watching or not.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
And
true.
I don't know if I even watched the trailer for the Rings of Poor season 2, but anyway,
God.
yeah, this looks really good. It comes out this December.
Oh, I didn't even realize there was the release date. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah.
Pretty sure it's this December.
Well, and our close personal friend Peter Jackson is heavily involved with this, apparently, or maybe he's the producer. I'm not sure. I guess that would make him heavily involved.
Yeah, in the very least, New Line Cinema is involved in some capacity because a bunch of Lord of the Rings footage is in.
Oh yeah, in the trailer. Yeah. Well, his name was definitely in the trailer too. But I don't recall what his role was. But that's cool. That's interesting.
December 13th, and the director Corey. I don't know much about him, but he is highly thought of in the anime world.
Has he? Okay. Quick side note. Do you know what he's done?
He's done some Ghost in the Shell stuff.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
He did one of the Star Wars shorts.
Oh, and like the what the hell were those called? Visions? Star Wars Visions?
Yeah.
Oh, I only watched the first season of that, but they were pretty cool.
And he did a bunch of stuff that I don't know.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah.
But when people lose their minds over someone being selected, I generally take that as positive.
Yeah, that's fair.
He worked on DuckTales.
I mean, that's a plus for me. That's a yes for me, dog.
I don't really know Ian number 832. I've never heard of it.
That's a film.
I suppose, or it could. Yeah, I think so.
It could
he worked on the Blade Runner show I didn't watch. I should probably watch that.
There's a Blade Runner show?
Yeah.
Is it an anime?
Yeah.
Huh.
I should watch that.
Yeah, I probably should too. Wow. I'm right into that.
Well,
anyway, it looks great. It looks like it's gonna be really cool.
Let's see the War of the Rohirrim. I might actually see this in the theater.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, stay tuned. I suppose we'll probably have to have an episode about that. Or at least mention it once more in Hobbit news. At the very least.
We should probably have a review.
Yeah, we should. We definitely should.
I guess we're both gonna have to see it in the theater.
Yeah, you're right.
Or maybe it'll come to streaming. I don't know what anything is anymore.
It'll come to theater, and then 9 days later it'll be streaming. So we'll see what we can manage to get to first. But it probably will be better to watch it in a theater rather than my 12-inch laptop screen.
It would be a completely different experience.
Slightly different experience. Okay. I got a piece of Hobbit news for you, Mike, and we're cutting it real close on this one because today is September the 2nd, 2024, and on September 7th, if you happen to be in Ottawa and you're attending the Comic-Con that's in Ottawa, all 4 of the movie Hobbits will be attending.
Are you serious?
Yes, I am serious. So that's Sean Astin, Elijah Wood, and the other 2. And and I think it's quite a rarity to see all 4 of them together.
This is unrelated, I swear to Christ. I remember reading a story of someone who met Elijah Wood after one of these events and went home with him, and he was very lovely, apparently, according to the story.
Pardon my parlance, but did they couple?
I think so, yeah.
Oh,
how would the Hobbits put that?
I don't. Probably very vulgarly. Is how the Hobbits would put it.
They put it to song is what they would do.
They'd knocked hairy feet. Okay. Well, that's. I'm happy to hear that, as we're in an age where many a Hollywood celebrity, this is where they fall apart.
Yeah. So if you're in Ottawa, it should get shot.
Yeah. Why not? He's. Never mind. I'm not going to go any further with this. But yeah. Well, speaking of which, actually, this is very closely related. There are so many ways that if you and I were there, that we could get kicked out for harassing them. I just like to imagine all the different questions that we could ask them that would have us immediately ejected by security.
Our fake That Hobbit shit press passes would probably get us kicked out immediately.
Yeah, but a man can dream. Perhaps needless to say, Mike and I will not be attending.
You should go for it, Corey.
I mean, yeah, I'm only a couple hours out from Ottawa.
Yeah, what do you have to lose?
Actually, what is the 7th? Let me look at a calendar. Just wasting our own time here, Mike. The 7th is Saturday. I'm working.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. Anyhow,
Are you working the floor at Comic-Con?
I'm working my way into the back so that I can corner Elijah Wood.
Just gotta get ears on this thing.
Okay, Mike, if you had
there's a lot of inside jokes, and our release schedule is pretty haphazard as of late, but I think you'll like
it. Okay, Mike, would you rather what is it, kill fuck Mary of the Four Hobbits? No, so anyway, moving on. The other piece of news is that the Rings of Power is out. And
not only is it out, 3 episodes are out.
Yeah, I swear to the Valar that I saw that they were supposed to release 2 episodes, and then on the day of release there were 3 episodes. And that always makes me skeptical when a series releases multiple episodes. I'm like, do they suck? Like, is that why you need to put out so many at a
time? Stay tuned to find out.
Well, yeah. Well, it's coming. We will record them both today. Hard to say when you're listening to this if we've made good on that. But stay tuned, because we will do an episode for all the releases of the Rings of Power.
Yeah, I suppose we'll do the first 3, and then we'll try to do a weekly episode for each one, even if it's short, with just us taking a little dump on it.
Yeah. Well, I think I think we were maybe, like, I don't want to say inconsistent, but like we didn't always do just one episode last season too. I think we lumped a bunch together at certain points.
Yeah, we had a pretty tough time with one of them, I think.
We had a tough time with the whole season, but let us not get into spoilers just yet.
So my sidecar bit of news. I don't know if we discussed it, but there is the Search for Smeagol, or Search for Gollum, movie being worked on.
Really?
Yeah. And,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is old news, Corey.
Okay. Is this Hollywood?
I think it is. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was reading today that Sir Ian McClellan has said as long as he is alive, no one else will be wearing that hat and beard. So he might be in it.
Oh, that fuck. Okay. Cool. Interesting. I actually did not know that it was being worked on. There's
it's The Hunt for Gollum. I'm sorry.
There is actually an independent YouTube film that's like called something very similar to that I think is about Aragorn dragging Gollum across the entirety of Middle Earth. I've not watched it, but I know it exists.
Sounds awful.
I mean, they probably did a pretty good job. No hate towards them just yet. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll have to keep an eye on that then. Yeah, because we were keeping an eye on the War of the Rohirrim.
Yeah, kind of.
We should move on.
So Peter Jackson, Andy Serkis, and Philippa Boyens are somehow all involved in this.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I honestly I hadn't heard anything about that.
It'll be better than the Amazon series.
I can almost guarantee it.
Yeah. Okay, well, should we move on?
Yes, let us. Well, I suppose I should say, because in case anyone is missing it, we are not going to do the Mathom House this episode, because we have covered in the Mathom House previously the history of Isengard, maybe even more than once, the lineage of the House of Eorl, the history of the 5 wizards, the White Council, and pretty much everything that could possibly be a Mathom this episode we have already Mathomed. So moving on from that, to the illustration, Mike.
I will draw you, Saruman, as poison is drawn from a wound.
Yeah, I'm sending it to you via WhatsApp.
Excellent.
As is our agreement.
So this segment is now I Will Draw You, Saruman, where we discuss the illustration that one of us has created for this particular chapter. Mike, what do you got here? Did you literally draw Saruman? Oh, I love it. Oh, that is awesome. I also like that you used a previous illustration, his Uruk-hai.
Thank you for catching that. I felt for I was really mixed on using your illustration in the mouth, but I felt like it had to tie together.
Oh no, that's sweet. I love it. Mike, you couldn't possibly plagiarize anything I've ever done. That's I like it a lot actually.
It's very difficult to draw in the style that the original illustration is done in.
Yeah. Oh
from
wow, that's interesting.
from the wall. It seems so simple, but man,
Yeah, that's cool. That's really interesting. That's in Procreate, I'm guessing.
yeah. I was playing around with a new brush set I got that has graphite, different graphite
cool.
Brushes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's sweet. I really like the texture. But yeah, certainly not a way that I would think you'd normally draw.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. It came together at the end. How about that? I put on the Rings of Poor and rewatched some while I was drawing this.
Mike, would you say that all in all, Saruman is just another brick in the wall? The wall of Mordor?
You know what? He became another brick in the wall of Mordor.
He did. Yeah, he had a lot of potential, but
he was being played. He didn't even know.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I really like it.
The original, the reference drawing has like not such banged up teeth. But like you got to do it for Christopher Lee. He was like 90.
Yeah. Oh, he's great. Yeah, may he rest in peace.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I see. I'm looking at the original. Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Isn't it a wacky style? The original?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I never really gave it much thought before.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
It's so expressionist, I guess.
Yeah,
of.
Yeah, definitely.
And like scribbly. It's something that would be a hell of a lot easier to do traditionally as well.
Yeah, I think there's sort of a lot of like letting the medium sort of do its thing, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. That you could do it digitally, but you would have to put a lot of practice and thought into it, I think,
Yeah.
You'd have to have like a giant set of brushes to do, because it's so much easier to do traditionally.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
It's you have like the point of the brush, and then you could kind of do an angled brush, but like you can't get nearly as many different types of strokes as you would with an actual. It looks like it's pencil crayon or maybe pastel.
Yeah. Yeah, which is like, yeah, it's hard to mimic the physical interaction of the media. Yeah. I mean, obviously you can do similar things or different things, but yeah.
It was fun. Fun. I mean, the whole point of this is outside of your comfort zone, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think that's awesome. Yeah, it turned out great. It's sweet. His murder army, Mike. His whole murder army was destroyed.
Imagine how upset he would be. His moment of greatness.
So you finally did it. You actually officially drew Saruman. We said we were going to do it.
Huh. We'll never get another chance, will we?
Nope, I don't think we will.
I never even thought about that. There will be one more chance.
Once he gets his goon squad.
Yeah. Did you ever draw the parallels between Sharky in Lord of the Rings and Sharky in Mario RPG?
Oh my god. No, I've never thought of that.
Okay.
And when he calls out Frodo in the final battle and you have to face him one-on-one.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one will have any idea what we're talking about.
No. Who would be Gino? Would it be Merry or Pippin?
I think, oh yeah, it would have to be the Hobbits. I was gonna say fucking Legolas would obviously be Gino because he's a dick.
No, we know Sam would be Malo.
Yes. The best character. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but prone to crying and
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
overeating at times.
Gino would probably be Mary. But then who would Pippin be? This is a tough call. It's tough to make these parallels.
Well, Princess is Rosie.
Bowser is Fredegar Bolger.
Boy. Yeah, nothing more. No notes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. On that note, I think that's the whole episode.
Oh yeah, I guess outro, right?
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, stay tuned for our first Rings of Poor episode. And thank you for listening to the real episode 10 of That Hobbit Shit. You can find us on Instagram at That Hobbit Shit, on Twitter at Hobbit Shit. Our Patreon is patreon.com/That Hobbit Shit to get your hands on some Hobbit Shit merch and support the show. And you can email us, thathobbitshit@gmail.com, especially if you have a Lord of the Rings theme recipe that you would like to see Mike and I fumble our way through.
Yeah, please send it, or send it however.
Oh yeah, send it on anything. We need them. We needed a recipe for every episode. There's a lot of fucking episodes. So yeah, on that note, I'm Corey.
And I'm Mike.
And may the hair on your toes never fall out.
Tried to get ahead of you on that one.
Yeah, that's yep.